hand can be done in many different positions on many different parts of the body. Here I'm going to demonstrate Gunther in and on the finger, the wrist, the hand, the elbow and other parts of the body. Yeah? So take a look and you'll see how the hand changes, because the hand has to change depending on where you're actually rolling on the body. The finger, also Gunther on the hand, the finger, good for rheumatism. This is the joint, second joint is very stiff. You do notice. Also, the temperature's changed as well.
It's cooler.
Warmer.
Yeah.
Definitely. You can feel the temperature straight away. So,
That's cooler.
That's why it's good for rheumatism. You can bring fresh blood and nutrients to the area. So, rolling over the joints, one by one. If you notice, the wrist is going backwards and forwards, but I'm not doing this. This is what we consider incorrect. Mando. This technique was taught to me in Beijing many years ago, to demonstrate that we can use Gunther on the smallest joints and digits of the body. This temperature come up quite well. You can feel that blood. It's pretty cool. I'm only demonstrating, should use it as treatment. Marking, if you look my elbow, the whole arm moves as a bar. I'm not leading with the elbow coming backwards and forwards. There's Gunther on the hand. Now, doing Gunther on the back, you'd have to change your posture. So, without being too humorous, to assist in this posture, I can only Gunther lower. So, I would need to stand upright be able to Gunther on the neck and shoulder. That's another outtake.
Yeah.
Okay. To Gunther on the back, it does change. The shoulder still has to be relaxed. I have to make sure that my posture is okay and I'm also upright. I can Gunther. You've got channels that run up into the neck from the bladder to triple warmer, gallbladder, and I can roll up these. You can take it close up into my hand, please. Yeah? So I can actually roll going up. The wrist, it has to change depending on where you're rolling and what contours. So here, I'm rolling up with the channels into the occiput. I want to roll across the trapezium or trapezius. It changes again. My wrist, my elbow, still moves. One movement. Yeah, it does not roll over. The thumb does not go from side to side. Yeah, if you watch where my thumb is, it can stay in one position. Over the shoulder. Then we can also Gunther into the deltoids, or if you're a TCM person, into the small intestine, 9 and 10. Now, there's been some talk that the knuckles shouldn't touch the body. But if I'm going to Gunther into small intestine 9 and 10, my hand has to fit into that contour. The wrist is still moving backwards and forwards. Again, if you look at my posture, it becomes quite important to deliver the energy from the ground, through the hip, shoulder, into the body. Yeah? Now, if a person has a headache, the direction of the Gunther becomes also quite important. If a person has a headache and it's a excess type, I may want to Gunther away from the head. So the force is no longer even backwards and forwards. I want the blood to move away from the head. If the person has a headache which is of a deficient type, I may want to Gunther towards the head, bringing fresh blood and nutrients along the bladder and small intestine channel to the head. So up the channel, down the channel. Now, working across the rhomboids, and if you're a TCM person, we can say along aspects of the bladder channel. I'm still using Gunther. Now, because my arm is in this angle, perpendicular to the body, my elbow stays very still, and you can also plant your elbow into your own body, and this will generate the force needed for the Gunther. So I'm not using muscle to deliver Gunther, I'm using my posture. So correct posture is as important as correct hand technique. It's also not important, forgive me, to be pushing. Yeah? What I want to do is work the muscles around where I'm making contact with the body. I'm speaking very slowly so even the people from America can understand me. Sorry. She's from America.
Say hi, Karen.
Oh dear.
I'm going to edit that back.
Yeah,
How to make friends and influence
friends,
people.
yeah, look like that. If they get it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah? So look at the different styles to how the hand is being held. Not this. Not this. It's soft and it is gentle and forceful. There is a saying in Chinese medicine when it comes to Gunther, the hand should feel like a stone wrapped in cotton wool. Neither should it feel like the cotton wool too soft or the stone too hard. Again, to hit the Gunther in this position, I also have to adjust my posture, so my posture remains upright. I can do one more on the head. Or from Gunther. So it shouldn't. It is important to make sure your posture is upright so you can observe what's happening around you and also observe the patient for other body movements. The Gunther should be relaxed, the hand itself should be moving backwards and forwards. There are many styles of Gunther. This one for the lower back, we're using this part of the hand. If you notice, my elbow is also quite low to the body. And this allows the pressure to be here. By driving my elbow upwards, it changes the position of the hand. But still, if you notice the distance to which my wrist is moving backwards and forwards. Now, if I'm to do Gunther between the shoulder blades and the spine, where the rhomboid muscles are or where the bladder channel runs, the spine is here, the edge of the scapula is here. So do channel, external bladder channel. One is here and one is here. This is not as appropriate for this area, or this is not as appropriate for this area. So one of the other Gunthers they use is actually here, which is no longer here. So it changes that the wrist still moves backwards and forwards. And this is done between the knuckles, do not touch the spine. And once you've passed through the area of where the rhomboids are, or the scapula, the hand changes back to where we started. To do Gunther between the shoulders in smaller areas, we can do it seated. By taking a seated position, I can maintain my posture and my spine is still erect. I do not hit the head, and my hand, my wrist is relaxed, and the wrist going backwards and forwards, to and fro. If I drop, I can go right down, or I bring my hands over the top, and so I can extend my wrist past the head. Because we're in a seated position, it's a nice position to bring the arm forward, and so then I can work the teres major, teres minor, small intestine 9, small intestine 10. This is good for shoulder problems, frozen shoulder, adhesive capsulitis, lung qi shu, which is lung qi deficiency. Now, when Gunther is done correctly, you can actually Gunther for a long time without tiring yourself or injuring any of your joints. It is important that your muscles remain relaxed throughout the technique. The area I'm using is here. Notice I'm still not on the skin. Again, we can use our posture to an advantage, that I can use my leg to raise. And so now I can Gunther over the sciatic nerve, through the bladder channel, and also down the gallbladder channel also. So this is ideal for lower back pain, kidney deficiency, sciatic pain, or just to improve range of movement through the hips. And if you see, my knuckles do not have to touch, and here they are deliberately touching, depending on the technique or style of Gunther I choose to employ. And we can go as far as the rolling forearm. Yeah, so my hand is deliberately not touching the person, but using the same technique to roll the forearm. Very comfortable. Shuffle. Posture is very, very important. The more relaxed you are, the more relaxed the treatment to the patient. The more tense you are, the more tense. You can't even wear your hat properly if you do Gunther like this. So I have to take my hat like a homie style. So I can bend over the patient and do Gunther. How's that?
That's good.